Yo, what's the deal, good people? It's Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology, and I am back continuing my Chiron house series. Chiron, the wounded healer, the energy antenna through all 12 houses. This is the ninth house, Nueve's house. Nueve's house. Yeah, man. You understand? We're going to break down Chiron, the ninth house, and put it all together and how it can affect you in your natal birth chart. So Chiron, the wounded healer, the centaur, the Greek mythology, right? Rejected at birth from its mother and Zeus, half man, half horse. Chiron was a centaur, right? And raised by Apollo, taught all these skills for healing and all these magical gifts. Chiron was immortal and then got wounded and could not heal himself. So then wanted to die and go and be the constellation of Sagittarius, and Chiron is in between Uranus and Saturn. So the wounding, think about Uranus and Saturn, the wounding can be very conscious and it can also be subconscious. And there's two wounds. So the first wound can be between being in your mother's womb, so during the pregnancy, and then right shortly after your birth. Right? Not getting your needs wanted, facing rejection. This creates that wound. So somewhere between like in the womb to 16, 18 months. But then the second wound, which we clearly see in the birth chart. Remember, one is kind of more subconscious, but the one that's you're more aware of depending on the house, is the ninth house, the sign in that house, and then the degree point. So let's just say your Chiron wound in the ninth house is at 12 degrees. This wound could have occurred around 12 years old. It's an emotional, physical, or spiritual wound. And this is an area where you can face rejection, but be overly sensitive, hypersensitive, and it's the energy antenna, right? So it's where you show up being really unique, but people reject you and you're hypersensitive about how you're rejected. But it can be a clear wounding, where you're hurt emotionally, physically, or spiritually. It's no joke. And what happens is, let's say it's 24 degrees. So this could happen at 24 years old, or it can be 6 years old. So sometimes I've seen with clients, the wounding can be twice. And like I said, the initial wound is in the womb or right after birth. So you're a baby, you're not aware of it. And the second one is at the degree point. All right. And that's what we're going to see in the natal birth chart. So you come to me, do the Chiron wounded, report. It's an audio birth chart reading, right? Only $53. And I break down your Chiron wound and then really give you the tools to work with it and to learn how to heal it. Because when you heal others, you're in turn healing yourself and your Chiron wounding. All right, so now let's break down the ninth house. Aha, your wisdom, your beliefs, your philosophy, the law, like religion, higher learning. This is your master's PhD, right? Higher learning, guru, shaman, teachers, preachers, professors. The ninth house is publishing, and it's foreign travel. Can be a pilgrimage for learning, like going to Mecca, or it's 50 miles or further away from home. The second house, just so you know, also represents your like grandchildren and can be the second marriage in the natal birth chart. So this wounding can be wrapped around all those different themes. Then we add the sign in. Now, just a couple famous people, I'm not trying to get all in depth, but I know Jessica Alba, Marilyn Monroe, Michael Jordan, Kevin Hart, Usher, Justin Bieber. Yeah, kind of interesting. So let's break down Chiron in the ninth house in the natal birth chart. So this is where you can be extra sensitive and feel rejected or actually have an emotional, physical, spiritual wounding through your beliefs, your seeking wisdom or higher knowledge, through how you kind of show up in the world and share your ideologies, your religion, your thoughts, your culture. Okay. You could be rejected by professors, or the ninth house is also your father's teachings. This wounding can come through your father, through a guru, a professor, right? It can come through traveling and exploring on a vacation. It can happen, going to go visit someone on a vacation for a duration of time, right? I don't want to even get into like spending a year at Diddy camp, but whatever. But seriously, this is where you can see that wounding, right? You live in Cali or live somewhere else, and then you go on a vacation to New York, to Florida, to London, and you have a traumatic experience. Or you're sharing your dreams and your beliefs in life, like, oh, I want to go do this and travel the world and da da da. And then people reject you or laugh at you for it, right? So, what you have to understand about this energy, your uniqueness, your way of vibrating in this house, it can stand out from others. It's not the norm, right? You're like, I want to go to Portugal and learn Portuguese. And everybody's like, what? The heck you want to do that for? That's stupid. Da, 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 da. And you're like from Seattle or, I don't know, Maine or Portland or Detroit, and people are like clowning you. You're from Chattanooga or North Carolina, Charlotte. And you have to understand that because this is the law, it's law and order, but it's more like the religious law. You can be rejected for your cultural religious beliefs, right? You go to a different country, or you go on a vacation, move abroad, and you're from Denmark, and people, are teasing you in Spain or in Argentina or Brazil, and creating emotional wound, or you get put in jail or arrested or beat up or teased, things like that. This could be a wound that happens. Maybe you get married at 18 and you have a second marriage at 26, and it ends up in abuse or spiritual, whatever. This can show that wounding because it's the second marriage. You can be, trying to write an early book, or you start a blog and you get blasted or teased for it at like 19 or 24, or your college professor, your dissertation, you're trying to get your master's, and there's a wounding created by your professor. So there's a lot of different ways this wounding can play out. And like I said, it can be through even a grandparent or your father's teachings. So you can see or understand that this wounding has many layers. And what you need to do is help others share their truth, right? Their beliefs, their philosophies, or help others gain knowledge or wisdom. Or maybe you become a professor or a preacher, and you are, more inviting to people's different beliefs, to their writings, to their education, their culture, to their ideologies. Okay? And so you have to understand that when you are willing to be introspective and heal others, in turn, you can heal yourself of this emotional, physical, or spiritual wounding, right? It could be your father is teaching you to be a racist, or your father is physically abusing you, right? Or you're being forced to go to church or forced to go live with your father, and you're rejected from your mom and you don't want to live with your dad, right? Or your grandparents. All of these things can play out. Now the sign would flavor it, right? The wounding, let's say if it's Aries here, it could be about not being able to initiate and verbally speak up for yourself, or an accident or an injury or something to your head or your eyes. If it's Taurus, it could literally be your speech, or your singing, or your taking an art history course and your professor fails you, gives you an F or a D, and you're just like, you're not understanding, or you are culturally into, music from, I don't know, Brazil, and you live in America and people tease you and reject, why do you like Brazilian jazz, right? Gemini, it could be through your words or communications, or you speak, communication, Gemini, a foreign language. Okay, you could have, something with Leo in terms of traveling, or being rejected from the father. Virgo could be the food you eat or your beliefs, right? Libra, relationships. This could be the second marriage, or it could be how people in foreign lands, when you go on trips, or your beliefs, they disagree with you, or you face some injustice. All right, so just a couple of examples of different signs, but the Chiron wound is really strong. And healing that inner child can get you through exploring the subconscious mind and maybe see the initial wounding that could have come in the womb, that happened right after birth through the mother. So it could be layered, it could be a double entendre, it could be double, woundings. And sometimes they can be emotional, physical, some sort of abuse, sexual abuse, spiritual, So understand this is a heavy placement, I know Marilyn Monroe, was rejected by her father, and had the Chiron wounding. Okay. So you can see these types of things play out in the natal birth chart, and the sign, house, which is the 9th, and degree will layer the story. So you email me and you're like, oh, Eric, I need to heal this Chiron wound, and what should I do? And BigEAstrology@gmail.com. Like I said, it's an audio chart reading. You get videos and a little breakdown. And I give you the tools to really work with this wounding to heal it, And because then once you heal it, I'm telling you, it helps you to increase your self-love, maybe to be less sensitive or hypersensitive, and also then to go on and teach and write a book about it. This is the 9th house of publishing, and you can share your story and heal others, right? Maybe we'll get a book from Justin Bieber or Usher one day, sharing their Chiron wound, or whoever, or you, because you're famous, all right? So listen, it's holiday season. I'm recording this in 2023. Happy holidays, Sagittarius birth chart sale. We got Coffee Talk coming up December 16, 2023, 1 p.m. Eastern, looking at the USA Election Day chart, November 5th, 2024. So email me to book a Chiron reading, any of my services, birth chart sale, come to Coffee Talk, whatever it is, BigEAstrology@gmail.com. And in the future, BigEAstrology.com will be live and active. Hopefully I'll be having it, done before the middle of December or no later than Christmas, but still trying to get that finished. But just reach me at BigEAstrology@gmail.com. Thank you for watching my Chiron house series. Please comment your degree, your sign, right? Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Many people comment and then don't hit the subscribe button. So click that for your boy. Do me that favor. I really appreciate it. And I love when you comment, share your thoughts. But understand, this wounding, if it's wrapped around your beliefs and philosophies, or your education and higher learning, or your father's teachings, it can be strong, And so you really want to heal your Chiron wound and understand this is where you are vibrating differently from others, and maybe it threatens what they consider to be the norm. Okay? Maybe you speak 2 or 3 languages and they just speak 1, and there's a little bit of jealousy there. So don't be hypersensitive about it. Just work with this energy, heal others, and heal your inner child, because then that's going to improve the relationship with self and self-love and relationships with others. All right, so Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology, and thank you for watching my Chiron, the Wounded Healer house series. And this is Chiron in the 9th house, Nueve's house, Nueve. I don't know why I do the same tune and each time, but hey, it's stuck in my head, Chiron 9 on your mind. I stay so divine. Relax and heal, and maybe drink some wine. Or just chill, meditate with the pill. Understand, Chiron, you're not ill. All right, so Chiron, the Wounded Healer, Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology. God bless. Peace.